Hello everybody, it's Nym and welcome back to my channel. So today, as you probably already noticed by the title and the fact that you're watching this, we are building in Planet Zoo and we are making a habitat for the Capuchin monkeys. One of my favorite kind of monkeys. I don't know why, I think they're just really cute. They're cute, I like them, so they deserve a nice habitat. So we are trying to make this zoo with mostly natural barriers. So no like fencing unless of course it's absolutely necessary, but I like using water as a divider and rocks and whatever more, like custom fences, glass walls, stuff like that. Also I decided that every animal should have an inside and an outside in their habitat, with the exception of some animals that will just have a shelter or a place in the rocks or whatever. But mostly all the animals will have an inside and an outside. So for now we are building the inside area for our Capuchin monkeys. And I really hope I pronounced that correctly because I'm not really sure. But we'll see. If I did mispronounce it, please let me know. So we'll have two areas. So like on the left side, the side that you're seeing right now, is where the monkeys will be in, and the side we're building now, so on the right side, is the viewing point platform thingy for the visitors, so they can actually go in there and look at the monkeys when they're inside their habitats, which I think is pretty realistic, even if I say so myself. Obviously we had to work with this water, so we just put some plaster pieces in there. Doesn't matter, it's all good. I also wanted the inside. I remembered this time, never ever start working on the inside after you put the roof on. Always first put a roof, always first do the inside and then put the roof on, because otherwise it is darn gosh annoying. Also my apologies for all the surrounding noises. It is after all school holiday and all the kids in my neighborhood are free. So you will hear them running and playing around. This is the most quiet they've ever been. So sorry. Also me saying never ever start doing the roof before you actually do the inside. Yeah. That came from this build because I actually did the roof first, which wasn't really that smart. I have to say this roof is pretty well made. I am experimenting, I'm trying out new stuff, so I'm quite happy with that. I am learning the controls, I'm getting better at it, so you know, that's something I'm really proud of, getting better at the controls, because I think the controls are quite tricky. But let's be fair, the extent of my games is usually Sims, so you know. So we are gonna have like 3 glass pieces and then 1 plaster piece on top of that, and that's actually gonna be the roof. Obviously the monkeys will need an entrance here as well, so we're gonna give them 2 entrances, and the keepers, I think they can also enter through that, I'm not quite sure. And naturally we are gonna give them an open window, the illusion of an open window in there. Now, we are now going to finish the other side, so where the visitors will be. Learn from my mistakes. First do the path, because I wanted to work with the square path, so the grid. Didn't work. That was really quite annoying. Maybe I'll go back and try it, but I couldn't get it working, so at the end it is a really weird path that just goes through it, and I'm sorry. Also, we are going to change this habitat up a little bit because I decided, you know what, this is actually way too high. I don't want it this high. So we are going to remove the plaster bit that I put just in front of it, but we are going to do that later. Right now we are going to decorate some of the wall bits with stone, just like we did at the entrance, just to give it a little bit of cohesive thoughts. And I actually think that it looks quite nice. I don't know if I'll do that with every habitat, but with some habitats. Also, I do have already a vision for my next habitat. My next habitat will be the llamas, because I like llamas, so you know, that's why. So right now we put the barrier in, and we are using a null barrier, and now we are trying to connect the path. And you will see what I mean with that it didn't work with the grid, because it is apparently on a diagonal and all my paths are straight or whatever, I don't know why. If you have any tips or suggestions, please let me know. Right now the path was going through the planter boxes and I didn't want that, and it was just like, nope. So it is quite tricky, so I tried again with the grid, but it just didn't work. I think we are gonna leave it like that. But like maybe I should have just removed the one door. Then it would have been fine. I think we are gonna remove, yeah, we are gonna remove the one door. Well, okay. So that's fixed. And oh yeah, and we're actually gonna move this a little bit over to make it look like really nice. And then I had the problem again with this pathway, so paths are annoying. In the end, I think it looks like reasonably okay. We are now putting the name on there to the Capuchin monkeys, so when you go from afar, you already know what habitat it is and which animal lives in there. So we are gonna color it, and we are gonna make it like a reddish pink color or green. What are we gonna do? Yellow. Apparently it's gonna be yellow. I'm doing this voiceover like a week after I built this, so I don't really remember everything. So I'm just looking at it, I'm commenting it on the way. What I do remember is that we actually gonna like, I don't want to say, how do you say that in English? I forgot the word. We're gonna make it look pretty. So we are gonna put some monkeys on there, and in the end we are actually gonna put the Capuchin monkey name on the other side of the building as well, so you can see it from both ways. When you walk from both ways, you will just see which animal is in there. Now, obviously, we had some escape abilities, so the animals would be able to just climb on here and escape. So we had to make them look pretty with rocks. So obviously, we are in a temperate biome, so we use temperate rocks just to make it look like nice. And I tried to make like a little house for the keepers to walk into, and that also makes sure that the monkeys can't go out of it, so that was pretty neat. And we are gonna put I think just a normal roof, and then with just some more wooden pieces to make it look nice. We are moving it over directly over the door so that it looks like it belongs there. Like you can imagine that the keepers have like buckets there, or like little treats, stuff like that. Now in the meantime, I did already buy my Capuchin monkeys and then put them all in quarantine, because I recently, when I buy animals and I don't put them in quarantine, I have a lot of sick animals, and then they infect all my other animals, and that is like really annoying. So at this point I realized, darn it, I have to do the inside, and I can't do that when the roof's on there. So we are trying to mess around with some of the ropes. As you can see, I'm not that familiar yet with the controls. But for my next like monkey thing, it will be a lot better. So there's a lot of cutting in here because I was just confused about the controls and trying out stuff that didn't work. I do all this lock. I love this lock. It's the Planet Zoo lock. Look it up in the inventory. It's amazing, or inventory catalog. It's amazing. The animals can actually walk on there as well, so it's all traversable area. And now we are building a custom like custom ladder. So we are using that with climbable logs, so the monkeys will actually be able to walk on there. So we are just gonna place them here, and I love this idea. I don't know, like I'm probably not the one that figured this out, but I just love it. It looks so cute, and I can just imagine the monkeys climbing up there and going to the higher areas. It's cute. Also, most of my inspiration came from a zoo that I used to go as a kid, and quite often go to as well. Whenever I go to a zoo, I go to that zoo. And that is the zoo in Amersfoort in the Netherlands. And they have a chimpanzee like habitat, and the inside looks pretty much like that. So also with the ladders and all the ropes and everything, all the wooden pieces, so I think it looks actually quite nice. Quite proud of it. And here you can see me struggling with controls some more. Also, I didn't notice that the rope was actually going through the plaster, but you know, who cares. I also I just put a time on and hoping that it will stop raining, because I hate building when it rains. Oh look, there was a monkey, there's a Capuchin monkey in there. He's so cute. And now we are just trying to blend the terrain in, because obviously these monkeys have like demands and what they want and what they don't want. So we are trying to do that as much as possible. We are also checking the traversable area and see that we need to build some more rocks there. which is natural because obviously they're monkeys, they can climb on everything. And I was looking at those like green mossy rocks, but I didn't really like them, so we cut those out because, you know, they didn't really fit this habitat, even though they are like tropical rocks and these monkeys belong in temperate and tropical areas. It just didn't feel right, so it wasn't gonna happen. We're now placing some more rocks. The thing that I love about rocks as well, you can use them also as natural barriers for the guests. So if you put a lot of high rocks there, the guests won't be able to like watch or look over it, so that's pretty nice. Because then sometimes the guests, they will stand at like for example, if guests are looking at a hippo habitat and then they look at a gorilla and they'll be like, oh, I can't get a good view of the hippo. I'm like, no, because you're obviously not standing in front of the habitat. Just move over, please. Frustrations, sorry. Anyways, we are now landscaping this island, and I wanted it to look natural, but also that the guests could like see the monkeys. So we are using plants, but we aren't using that many trees. Like, if you were to look up Capuchin monkeys in their like real life in the wild, they basically live in trees, so it's pretty darn difficult to see them. And obviously in Planet Zoo you want to keep your guests happy, so you don't build an island with only trees to make sure and so that the guests can't actually see the monkeys anymore. So we are placing some trees, but mostly like a lot of plants, and we are just doing terrain work. So we are playing with the different terrain paints, making it look natural, making it look exciting and stuff like that. And that's basically I don't want to say all I do, but that's mostly what I do. I know that that is not a temperate nor tropical tree. I think it's in North America, but I love that tree and it looks so natural. I love it, and I actually think that the monkeys can climb on that as well, so that's pretty cool. We are using some ferns because those are actually pretty natural, and they make, I don't want to say they make the place look nice, but they make it look more natural, same as the palm trees. I just love it. And obviously we are placing more rocks, and now we are just getting the terrain the way the monkeys like it and making it look really natural. And here comes the real fun part, because, you know, monkeys need climbing places. Climbing places? What? That was not a good sentence, I'm sorry. Like, they need places to climb. And in Planet Zoo you could just use things out of the catalog, but this is Sandbox and I like experimenting, I like building, so we are just gonna try to make everything custom in each habitat for all the habitats. So whenever they need something, we are just gonna make it custom. Now this little idea, that's what I had as a kid. In the playground very close to my home, they had this. And then you would be able to walk on the poles, and it would go all high and then low again, so you would walk over it from A to B, and it was really fun. And how many times did I fall off? I think I only fell off like 2 times. So that's pretty darn good. Because the higher you got, like the smaller the locks became, which is very weird. And sometimes because obviously they were standing outside like all the time, and it's pretty rainy in my country. Sometimes the wood was a little bit rotten, so you would stand on it and then it would crack and it would like split open and you would fall. So it was a dangerous game. Very dangerous, but very much fun. Again, we are building some more climbable pieces. I did have some inspiration from like the things that you can buy in the catalog, because I was like, you know what, I don't go here to invent the wheel. So I could like get my inspiration from it and then just make it a little bit different, just a little bit nicer, and give it my own touch of me. So that's what I did here. And I actually think that it looks pretty good and pretty nice. Obviously we are adding some enrichment items for the monkeys as well, because they are living there, it needs to look nice for them. And we are adding some fences. Now, I know that I said, ooh, I'm gonna do everything custom. Yeah, I'm not gonna do custom fencing yet. Maybe when I'll get better at it. So we are just putting a fence all around, and then we are nicing up those educational boards, because I think they look quite boring. So we are putting an edge around it. Maybe you could even custom make that. You should be able to do that. That would be pretty cool. And then I realized one of the monkeys escaped. So it was like, darn it, they can actually climb on that. I didn't think that they should. So I had to alter the rock formation and just make sure that they can't actually climb on there anymore. And in the end, it could all just be fixed with just some few rocks. And that was that. There. And then we just had to fix it a tiny little bit, and then it's all fixed. And obviously when you make the habitat look nice, you may have to make the surroundings look nice as well. So we are now just making sure that the path around it looks good as well, so that all our guests will say, ooh, this scenery looks really lovely. And I'm well aware that I'm in Sandbox and I'm like, you can just turn all that off, but you know, I like playing franchise, but I like playing with unlimited money, so I'm using the sandbox mode to play franchise, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? It probably doesn't. I should probably just play in franchise, so I could actually like make conservation credits. Difficult word. Heck, you know, who cares? We are now just adding some nice little scenery. I just love doing it. I love landscaping in every game that I do. Whenever there's good landscaping, I'm just immediately happy. Because I love landscaping. I don't know why, I just like it. And like I said in the beginning, we are now just making sure that this side of the building also looks like you are actually visiting the Capuchin monkeys. And not that you're just thinking, what is this weird building? It actually has a purpose. So. And obviously, it also needs a sign so that you know where you're actually going. Otherwise, you're like, oh, I'm in the zoo, where do I need to go? I don't know. I think there's now going to be a little cinematic of our monkeys. So there it is. So I will leave you guys to it, and I will hope to see you guys on the next episode. And if you haven't already, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe and hit that bell icon. Bye, guys!